What is going on there, citizens of the Reject Nation? We got ourselves a trailer for Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, one of his biggest passion projects finally being brought to life, which was originally pitched to be a Star Wars project, but now it's just going to be his own precious trilogy baby. John, how are you?
Release the Snyder Wars.
Yes, that is what is happening right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead, leave a like on this video. And it's a Netflix trailer. They don't. We got an ad. Let's run that ad. Thank you to our marvelous sponsors, Amazon and Scopely, because we're going to be talking about Marvel Strike Force today, people. Yeah? Look at the background. Now, I've done my time in the trenches with this game. Look at this raw footage. Let me tell you, it's as addictive as Tony Stark's caffeine habit. You'll feel like Doctor Strange bending reality, assembling a mix of your favorite Marvel characters into one unbeatable squad. In my lineup, I've got the powerhouses, Luke Cage, the web-slinging Spider-Man, the relentless Punisher, the deadly Elektra, and the ever-essential, most underrated shield medic. My latest recruit, Crossbones, witnessing all the symbiosis of their powers in the 5v5 battles. It's like watching the Avengers assembling all over again. My personal MVP, obviously Spider-Man, because let's face it, with great power comes a whole lot of butt kicking. I thought I would rhyme, it didn't. Marvel Strike Force isn't just about the thrill of the battle. No, it's a game of chess with an infinity gauntlet. See what I did? A tough level is your Thanos, and figuring out the right character upgrades and skills to rely on is your endgame. And listen up, webheads with an Android. Make your move through the Amazon App Store. It's like finding a Tesseract of deals. You get 20% off in-app purchases from Marvel Strike Force and Amazon coins, so more bang for your buck. Assemble your ultimate squad. Unlock characters like the regenerating degenerative Deadpool, the enigmatic Venom, the star-spangled Captain America, the genius billionaire playboy philanthropist Iron Man. Hey, don't forget the shield medic, and many more, and stand as Earth's mightiest defenders. Click on the link in the description box to download Marvel Strike Force from the Amazon App Store and dive headfirst into action. Under roost! He's got his composer back.
Do you know the story of the Princess Issa?
No.
Wow.
In myth, she was called the Redeemer.
So
It was
illustrious.
said this child would stop the madness of war.
Wow.
Jimon?
Come on!
That she was to usher in a new age of peace and compassion.
Oh, it's Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, yeah.
I was given memories of a world I will never see.
Moses.
Loyalty to a king
Oh,
I
see
cannot
that bird?
serve. And love for a child I could not save.
This feels like pure innovation, man.
Oh, yeah. So freaking epic.
What do you think they want?
Everything.
I found her.
Ed Screen, Corey Stoll.
I am a child of war. I was taught that love is weakness.
This feels like Zack Snyder incarnate.
Oh, yeah. Just left to his own devices.
Yes!
Ooh, what's up, Sith?
Look at this.
A price to pay for your defiance.
Wowie. Damn.
Shh, one moment. I do love this part.
Hold on.
Anime, epic sci-fi, all encompassed
We're
in
not here
one.
to bring any.
Is that a Charlie Hunnam, too?
Yep.
Are you ready?
The
Whoa.
creature designs and the aesthetics are amazing.
I boast no fear. Let's show them that we're not afraid.
Jeepers, man. Buckbeak!
More than the shackles that bind us.
It's also like a pure fantasy. Look at this, man.
Oh, yeah. It's got a little bit of everything he's done so far. And more.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Whoa.
all the combinations.
And a man can fail. But a myth is indestructible.
It's also got that
It's a little bit Clash of the Titans.
insurrection uprising.
Yeah. Rebellion.
Protect each other. We show them no mercy.
Yeah, baby.
Who among you is willing to die for what you believe?
all
And
of us.
he also was a cinematographer for this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Army of the Dead.
This is his. When they say visionary director Zack Snyder, this is truly a visionary.
Child of Fire and the Scargiver.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, and he also, he's had this project in mind for like 20 years.
Sure.
Other than all
Shows.
this 20 minutes ago.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, this almost looks like a Sucker Punch 2.0, not in spirit, not in direct aesthetic, but in the way that it's just like everything Zack Snyder crammed into one movie, except post all the DC experiences now.
Yeah. That looks beautiful. That looks better than most movies that are coming to the movie theaters.
He cuts a trailer, man, like nothing like a Zack Snyder trailer.
Yeah, I haven't seen Sucker Punch, but I get what you're getting at. Yeah,
But
that's
you
the only.
see that trailer and you're like, this is just all this stuff.
That's the only Zack Snyder film I have yet to catch.
So you've seen the Owls of Ga'Hoole?
That is there's two Zack Snyder movies I have yet to catch. Well, we'll do a reaction before this comes out when we are riding that SEO train come December 2023.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought this was an absolutely beautiful trailer. You can see the Star Wars inspirations, the pieces of history that he absolutely adores, also his like obsession with human anatomy as well, but also the different creature designs and the wonderful ensemble that is here. Tom Holkenborg, I believe, is that his name? The guy
Junkie
who
XL.
Yeah, he who did he was the composer for, of course, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then some Army of the Dead as well. And now he's back here. This is like a pure passion project brought to life. And even though it said part 1 and part 2, I believe that this is supposed to be a trilogy as well, and they're also expanding this universe into being a graphic novel on
and
top
a
of all
video
that.
game.
And the video game as well. So there's so much that they want to do here, and you can see it all here on display. Like I said during the reaction, this feels very innovative, just pure like marvelous creativity at its finest,
Yeah, and it looks like it has a little bit of everything. Like it's got all that scopic sci-fi stuff, but it also looks like you are going to spend a good amount of time just like in the slums of this world too, and just looking at it seems like he's drawn a whole set of societies and stuff like that. And I think that's a fun thing to do because we've seen him tackle so many expansive graphic novels that already exist, and now this is him kind of putting all of his interests, again, not unlike what I imagine a Sucker Punch 2 be, but this feels like so much more thought out and mapped out. It's like it's got elements of Lord of the Rings, it's got elements of Gladiator, it's got elements of a million sci-fi movies you could think of. And even though I'm sure it'll center on a particular group of characters, it looks like, or a particular character, it looks like you've got kind of a Ripley-esque lead as a through line, but you also have this massive ensemble, and there's so many different design flourishes, and yet they, at least as of this trailer, feel like they all kind of coalesce into one world that I could see how it was Star Wars, but it doesn't feel like it was just scrapped for parts and quickly repurposed. It doesn't feel like the remnants of something that was clearly that, but it does feel certainly inspired by that kind of thing, and yet it also has the Zack Snyder edge where it like this feels a bit more dark and heavy and harrowing than what I associate with.
Don't use my word.
Oh, I'm so sorry. The duplicitousness
Don't use
of
Coy's word.
the percolating dread.
You got dread.
I got dread,
and that's all you get.
The dread of this world.
You get boisterous.
It's kind of boisterous in its energy a little bit.
It doesn't matter. Work it into the
It's the
vocabulary here.
boisterous dread that this trailer puts
Work
forth
it in, John.
feels a bit edgier than a lot of what we've seen out of a Star Wars. So it feels like you're still getting that gritty, like the same way his comic book films are sort of adult. It feels similar to the Star Wars. Is like it's an adult version.
I mean, people often chalk up Zack Snyder's work to something that, in the most simplistic terms, to being very dark. And this actually provided, I could see how this was once a Star Wars pitch, because this is all about, fighting oppression. It's called Rebel Moon, for crying out loud, and it's a space opera. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And but you do get that quality, especially Anthony Hopkins' narration of like darkness and coming into the light and the fighting for what's right. I love everything that I saw here. It's really hard to criticize anything, honestly, especially knowing that it's going to be a part 1 and part 2. And as we all know, Zack Snyder's work tends to work better the longer the film is, like if this was only one movie, then I might be like, it might get a little undercut. It might be a bit underserved. Even I really enjoyed Army of the Dead, but I still felt like it still has a little bit more room to grow, especially in terms of like the storytelling department. I still really liked it, but there were elements that I thought could have been better fleshed out. But knowing they're going to be released as a part 1 and a part 2. Like, okay, that's the way to do it then, especially when you're dealing with Zack Snyder's voice,
Give him as much latitude as you can.
Now all we can hope for is that by the time December rolls around, that everyone involved with the writing and then the acting, they get their rightful residuals and they get paid fairly for this. And I believe that this was, I could be wrong. You can correct me. I think this was done for under $100 million, part 1.
Wow.
I think of that.
I would believe it only because of the amount of things he's shot in like his backyard that you wouldn't be able to tell. He just seems like he's so got the second nature of the filmmaking that he probably knows how to make something look great and also come in slightly under budget.
Yeah, the artistic merits here are absolutely excellent. I guess that the only thing that can have me a bit worried is just some other things that I might have had with some of his, like I love a lot of his films, and then there's a lot of things that I also share some of the same opinions on of, okay, well, I get too caught up in the visual experience, but he communicates a lot via tone and mood and atmosphere and blah, 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 blah. But I guess I'm like, well, if we're going to be a part 1 and part 2, we're going to be meeting new characters. So we really got to get severely emotionally invested in them if we're going to be on board for this very epic long journey. And so it's not really a criticism of what was shown here. It's not even a criticism. It's just a bit of a concern. So we'll see. I just care about that first and foremost before anything else. Honestly, like I love all that stuff, but before anything else, I care first and foremost of I got to be on board for what they're fighting against and the motivations and all the goals and stuff, rather than just generality of good versus bad.
I got to attach to these characters, and it can't be too bleak or too overwrought. It's got to also have some spirit of fun.
All right, guys. Well, what did you think of the Rebel Moon trailer? Did you love the look of it? Are you excited for it? Be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when we will, of course, we'll be reacting to it. Why the hell not? It's the one movie we're going to skip. No, we're going to definitely be reacting to it. And so keep a lookout for a reaction when this comes out in December. Thank you guys so much for being here.